Hello and thanks for joining me. Well, I'm right in the middle of a South Bend lathe rebuild. It's about a 1930 or 31 model. It's an 11-inch. Impressive little lathe. It's in pretty good condition, but it's been a lot of work. I videoed most of it, so we're going to backtrack and review what I've done here so far. I'll try to keep it brief because there's just a whole lot of cleaning, wire brushing, stuff like that. I had to make a new spindle for this tailstock here. I've still got to buy a hand wheel for it. I kind of messed up on that. I've got the video on it. If I had to do over, I'd do it a lot different, and I might in fact redo that in the future. I've got to build a drive for it, and I plan on putting new dials on it. The dials that are on there, you just can't read them. But anyway, let's get on with it, starting with the tailstock rebuild. Well, this thing's not going to restore itself. I think it's time to get started. This tailstock here, missing the spindle, the threaded rod and the hand crank, and the lockdown. I don't know why somebody would leave all that out, but I think that's a good place to start. $1.89, 1.189. What kind of screwed up size is that? 1.189. 1.189. It's got to be what it is. 1 3/16. Oh, that's weird. No idea what that does. Whoa, look at that. Didn't really expect that to come out. I think that might hold the key inside. We'll see. Interesting. That's the key that stops the, I guess you'd call it quill or spindle, from rotating. Goes right in there and meshes with the quill or spindle. Well, I believe that's got it down to the base casting. Now it's just a lot of cleanup work to do. This is 1151 new. Not sure what that means. Well, let's make a new spindle for this tailstock, seeing as how this one's missing. I'm going to make it 8 inches long. That'll make it stick out a little bit further than it probably did originally, but I like having that extra overhang. Okay, I'm turning down a new spindle for the tailstock. Ideally, I would have put my faceplate on here and turned it between centers. But I got a problem now, and it may be my chuck off, or maybe my tailstock, but this is 17. This is smaller. This is 10. 10 and 17. 10 and 10. That's 7 thousandths difference between this end and this end. The way the tailstock is made, it's got like a key that sticks up into the upper half and it slides back and forth. It's adjustable. Let me show you on the one we're rebuilding. I've got this one all relatively cleaned up. And it's got 2 halves, if I can get them apart. There we go. There's a jack screw that goes in here and one that goes through from the other side, and they just push against this centerpiece. And my other tailstock's made the same way, so what I'm going to be doing, the only thing that holds them together is that clamp right there, and then the 2 set screws going into the sides. Okay, I gotta think this through here. I want it bigger on the tailstock end, so I've got to move it that direction. So I gotta loosen this side and tighten the other side. And I know from past experience, it's extremely critical. Like maybe I went too far, I don't know. Now the next thing to do is chuck it up, take a pass off what I'm turning there and measure the diameters again. Would have been nicer tighter, but well, I'm starting over. Okay, I got it. I just need to polish it. I believe that's it. Okay, I'm flipping it over, using my center to kind of center it up in the chuck there. I'm drilling through this part, and then I'm going to cut that off, that way it gives me a center. There we go, now we're going to cut the spindle to length. Okay, I'm all the way through. Now the tricky part. I've got to drill a clearance hole almost all the way through and leave part of it on one end to cut the threads in to control the tailstock. Here's basically what we got now. We got a hole bored all the way through it. Now we got to enlarge a good section of it like that, and then cut the Morris taper on this right there. This will be what the threaded portion of the tailstock goes into. It'll look like that. And the hand wheel will go here. Last time I did this, I put it in the chuck, and the chuck would not hold it. It was terrible. So I'm going to try it this way, and I'm standing on the back side of the lathe in case it gets caught and I can let go of it. Won't wipe me out. A little bit deeper. Okay, that was the roughing reamer. I got it about the right depth. I'm going to go with the finishing reamer now. I think that's it. It could be a little bit deeper, but I can always ream it out later. That's where the hole ends, so my tap's got to be able to tap that much thread. I haven't got my left-hand thread half-inch tap yet. It looks like that's not going to be a problem. Okay, let's thread this spindle. I've got a left-hand tap here, Acme thread tap, and I've got a screw-on chuck, so I can't go in reverse because the chuck will unscrew. So what I'm going to do is disengage my spindle. So that I can manually thread the chuck on. Thread the spindle. The Acme threads take a lot more torque to because they're a square thread. Now I've got to make a lathe tool to cut Acme threads. Started making the profile there. Okay, I put the 400 grit on there to get a Good deal. Oh, it's crooked. There we go. There we go. May just need to be sanded up. Let's give this ugly thing a try. These threads are not right. They work, but they're not right. I'll probably remake that. I don't have a hand wheel yet. Pretty good though. Pretty good fit. Yeah, I'll remake that spindle. Yeah, the way I did that last time, I got a little bit crooked here on this taper. I'm going to try it this way. I don't know if it'll be any better or not. I got some, I can go a little deeper. I don't know if that chuck will hold that reamer. Pretty small amount though. That's it. I'm gonna try something here. I heard somebody else say they did this and it worked pretty good. And some lathes have it, I think. I know there's a Monarch where I worked that would grab the tang of the taper so it wouldn't rotate. I'm going to put a couple of set screws in this spindle to grab that tang. These are 3/8 set screws. It'll be positioned just right. I want that to be able to push that out. And I don't want it to hit these set screws. So I don't want to get it right at the very end. But then again, I want enough to be able to taper that or dress the taper a little bit so it'll go in a little further if I need to in the future. So let's say right there. Worst thing that could happen is I mess it up and have to do it again. Mill's still set up from where I milled that keyway. It should be centered. What I'm hoping to do here is thread it so that the set screw forces in on the last little bit of threads, kind of like a Loctite. Tried to do that before. It's kind of hard to do. If I don't succeed, I'll use some Loctite. May have gone too far right there. We'll see. Oh, maybe not. See, it's getting pretty hard right there. I don't know. No, I can't go in far enough. A little further, maybe a half a turn. I think that's got it. Now to get the other one the same way. Looks like I need to take maybe an quarter inch off the end of that, or turn the end of it down maybe. All right. That little turn down end goes right between them. That's exactly what I wanted. Now this will go in there. Stops it from rotating. And the lead screw ejects it. Good deal. I'll probably have to grind that just a little bit because it probably raised a burr there. Well, that about wraps up part one of the South Bend lathe rebuild. Tailstock's all done. I think it turned out good. Still waiting on a hand wheel and a lockdown nut. But there's a lot more to come. Be sure and stay tuned for part 2 and 3. I think it'll be done in 3 parts. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and be sure and subscribe.